My name is Æthelred, son of Edgar the Peaceful and once the King of England. The chroniclers call me Unready, but I know that history often speaks with a voice of scorn when it does not understand the burdens of a king. I ruled a kingdom under siege, a land where the tides of war and treachery seemed relentless. Let me tell you my story, the final 2 years of my reign, as I lived them. In the year of our Lord 1014, I was a man broken by the weight of loss and defeat. My kingdom had fallen into chaos, torn apart by Viking invasions and betrayal from within. That year, the Danish king, Sweyn Forkbeard, drove me from my throne and claimed my kingdom as his own. I fled to Normandy, seeking refuge with Duke Richard, my brother-in-law. I was not a coward, I was a king cast into exile, yearning for a chance to reclaim what was mine. When Sweyn died unexpectedly in early 1014, I saw my opportunity. My people, despite their doubts and grievances against me, called me back to England. They swore loyalty, promising to stand by me against the Danes. I returned, my heart heavy with mistrust but aflame with the hope of redemption. I would not let my sons inherit a kingdom enslaved by foreigners. Yet, the peace was fragile, and the storm returned in the form of Sweyn's son, Nut. A cunning and ruthless adversary, Nut sought to avenge his father and seize England. The years that followed were a blur of bloodshed and treachery. My armies clashed with his along the Thames and in the countryside. Towns burned, and the people suffered under the weight of war. The shadows of defeat loomed large, and my nobles were divided, some loyal, others tempted by the Danish coin. By 1015, my health began to falter, a cruel affliction that mocked my ambitions. My eldest son, Edmund Ironside, rose to lead our forces. His courage was a beacon in our darkest hours. Together, we fought Nut in a desperate struggle for the soul of England. Yet, even as I admired Edmund's resolve, I feared that my failures had cursed him to bear the weight of a kingdom in ruin. The year 1016 was my final reckoning. The relentless Danish forces pushed deeper into our lands. The bitter campaigns wore down my spirit. Edmund continued to fight valiantly, but it was clear that the tide was against us. In April, I succumbed to my illness, passing in London as my kingdom stood on the brink of collapse. They say history will judge me harshly, and perhaps it should. But know this, I fought not as an unready king, but as one man against the tides of fate and the gods of war. I carried the burden of betrayal, invasion, and discord on my shoulders. And in the end, I died hoping that my son, Edmund, would succeed where I had failed. This is my story, not of a king untouched by folly, but of a man who sought to defend his land and legacy against overwhelming odds. Whether I was unready or simply overwhelmed by the cruel tides of history, I leave for you to decide.